Hey guys, Macca here from becomingbest.com, and you're following my journey to become one of the best Super Smash Bros. Melee players in the world. And in this video, I want to talk about this book, this audiobook that I just finished listening to, as well as balance and family life when pursuing becoming the best. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's something that I think you guys should think about. So The Last Best League is a book by Jim Collins. Now, I absolutely love Jim Collins. He wrote Good to Great. He wrote Built to Last. He wrote Great by Choice. Like, these are all epic, amazing business books. But he actually wrote this, I think, even before them. The Last Best League is about the Cape Cod League, which is a summer league in the States, obviously, where players go. And apparently, he says in this that 1 in 6 major league players play in this Cape Cod League, so they come from this league. And so he tracks one specific team as well as the players and kind of documents their summer playing and working and living and doing this league, and then tracking them to see how they went in the majors and to see how their lives panned out and how their dreams panned out. So it's an interesting book. It was quite hard for me to follow. I haven't played baseball in years. I've never really followed Major League Baseball and understood the statistics and all of that sort of stuff. So some of it did get confusing, and there's so many people that it can be quite hard to follow at times. But I used to play baseball as a kid, so it was pretty interesting, and it was, I was happy to have read the book. But the biggest takeaway that I got was at the end, where he did a 10-year review to see where all the players ended up. So what happened to them? Did they make it to the majors? How long did they stay in the majors? What was it that stopped them and made them leave baseball when they finished up? All of that sort of stuff. So it was really like seeing how passionate and how dedicated these people were to playing baseball, and then seeing 10 years how many of them actually made it, and so few of them made it. I think of the whole team, which was somewhere around 20 players, I think 5 eventually made it to the major leagues, but of those 5, some of them only got to play like 1 game or 2 games or something like that, and then they were out, and then they were pushed down to the AAAs or pushed down even further. And so there was only like 1 or 2 players that got to play consistently in the major leagues, and everyone else like had a really hard time working in the minor leagues and trying to work their way up and having injuries and all of this sort of stuff. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see that these guys were all trying to become the best. They're all trying to become the best at their position, at batting, at baseball, and they all wanted to make it to the majors, and so few of them make it. And I think when we're trying to become the best, like I'm trying to become the best at Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is nowhere near as high paying as baseball. I think like number 1 player in the world might make $100,000-$200,000 a year or something like that. And that would be what a minor league player might get paid in the States. And so like if I become number 1 in the world, I'm not going to make huge money. So it's not really a big money play for me. So it's really hard to become the best. And these guys, like one of the guys, Jamie Daytona, he ended up having really bad knees. And by the time he was 29, which is actually my age, he was talking about how he's got to carry a stool around with him because he can only stand up for about an hour because he's got like old man knees. His knees are like so destroyed that he just, he can't stand up for more than an hour. And it was interesting to see other players and the way that they looked back on it and thought that they sacrificed so much. They missed out on so many family things. Their family and their friends sacrificed so much as well for them to chase this dream of playing in the majors, and then they didn't make it. And they were just really upset about that and what they sacrificed to achieve that. And so that really made me think that it's like, well, if I'm going to be pursuing this, if I'm going to pursue becoming the best, I also want to have balance. So I don't want to do it at the sacrifice of my family. So I'm married, I've got 3 children, awesome wife, awesome kids. I love spending time with them. And so I don't want to sacrifice my relationship with them in order to pursue this dream of becoming a great Melee player. So that is absolutely not worth it to me. And so my focus at the moment is really finding the balance where I can put in my hours and do my practice, which is about, at the moment, it's about an hour and a half per day, but I kind of want to work that up to about 3 hours per day. So I want to be able to put in that practice, but then I want to be able to finish up, and I want to be able to maybe do a little bit of work on my business and then pick the kids up from school, or go to the beach with my wife and my youngest son who's not in school yet, go surfing, hang out with friends, see the kids, have dinner with the kids at dinner time and help put them to bed and that sort of stuff. So balance is hugely important for me. So becoming number one in the world, probably won't happen for me, because I think the sacrifice I would need to make that happen just wouldn't be worth it. And number one in the world, who is Amada, he was talking recently about how he's been burnt out. So I'm just going to try and find, where is it here? So this is him here. I'm going to try and find his video where he just talks about, it's probably not worth playing, but first tournament, going pro. It was this one here, like why I won't be entering singles at Ep3. So he talked in this one about how he's burnt out and how he's sacrificed a lot, not seeing his family a lot because he's always preparing for the next tournament. So the next major tournament, whether it be Genesis or whether it be EVO or Smash Summit or whatever it may be, he's always preparing for these tournaments, and thus he's sacrificing his health, he's sacrificing his relationships and things like that. And this guy is number one in the world. He's a great player. He seems to really enjoy the game, but he's really feeling burnt out, and he's talking about how he's sacrificing his relationships. And I think looking forward to become a top 100 player, I don't think I need to sacrifice all of that. I think I need to work really hard. I think I need to practice. But if I can focus, and if I'm doing my 1.5 to 3 hours per day, but that's really focused practice, and I'm doing really good stuff that's really moving me forward, I'm doing deliberate practice, then I think I can still achieve my goal and still have the family relationships that I want to have. So I guess all I wanted to say in this video is that if you are considering becoming the best at something, if that's something that you want to pursue, look at what you think that is going to cost you, what you're going to have to sacrifice, and then project forward about whether or not it's actually going to be worth all of that sacrifice. I wonder if Jamie Daytona, who now has horrible knees at 29, if he could look back and say, was it worth all the sacrifice, knowing that he never made it to the major leagues? Is it worth ruining your knees and stuff over that? And the other players who ruin their relationships, I know some have become alcoholics and things like that. Like, is that worth it? And to me, it's not. And so I want to stay balanced, and I will rely heavily on my wife to help me understand that, because she really knows when things become unbalanced, because there's so much pressure on her when things become unbalanced. But I think that I can do it, and I think that I can do it in a balanced way. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I kind of, usually when I record, I'll turn my computer so you can't see all the stuff in the background, but I just left it today because actually I share an office with my youngest son, who is currently 2 years old. And so this is his stuff in his room and some lights up there, and so it's just kind of a sign of the balance that I want to have. Like, I share a room with him. When he naps, I can't be working at my desk, so I need to go downstairs where I'll practice some melee, or I'll spend some time with my wife, or I'll have a nap. So forced to share this room has created balance. In a month's time, I'm moving to a new house where I'll have my own office, so it might be harder because that balance won't be forced on me, but we'll see how we go. It's a constant thing that I'll be trying to do and trying to get better at, and get my practice done, but still have a balanced life. And so if you want to check out the last best league, just go to becomingbest.com/league, and that will link you over to Audible, where you can get that audio book, which is a good audio book. It's not the best audio book that I've ever listened to, but if you're interested in baseball, if you're interested in hearing the stories of these guys who are trying to become the best, then it probably is worth a listen to. And Audible, you can get your first audiobook for free, so that's great. So yeah, just go to, becomingbest.com/league, and that will redirect you to this book where you can go and get that for free if you don't already have an Audible account, or you can use one of your credits to get it. So that kind of finishes this video. I'm going to try and keep balance going, and hopefully I can do it. And I just encourage you to think about what you're trying to become the best at, and whether or not you're going to have to sacrifice balance, sacrifice relationships, sacrifice your health, and is that going to be worth it? Because if it's not worth it, then you can learn that straight away, and you can decide to become the best at something else, because you're not set on one path. You can become the best at multiple different things. So that's it from me, guys. I'm signing out now. Until next time, remember to do what it takes.